the culture wars will forever be percolating in the world of football. Who's going to win the Ballon d'Or? My favourite player versus your favourite player. My GOAT versus your GOAT. As in the greatest of all time, not the animals. You know, I think this player should win because of these achievements. Well, he shouldn't win that because he was only doing this against these teams in that league. And, you know, there will always forever be argument. That's the beautiful thing. Football is a game of opinions. It does seem, at the moment, the Ballon d'Or favourites is Lamine Yamal, the young teenager from Barcelona, and Ousmane Dembele, le joueur français, the French PSG frontman star boy. I say he's not star boy, is he? He's literally 9 years older than Lamine. He's 27, I believe, Ousmane. But he has been sensational. Well, they both have. I want to read a power ranking from goal.com to see what they're saying in the top nominations. I guess, of course, you could look at favourites and bookies' favourites, but I want to read this longer ranking. I think that'll be interesting. And I want to kind of bring it home as well and speak about Lamine and Ousmane, respectively, in this video. So welcome back, guys. How are you? Come on in, sit down, get comfortable, pour yourself a drink. Really pleased with the continued support. At time of recording is 18,780 subscribers. So close to 19,000, and of course it's the road to 20k subs this summer. So thank you for liking and subscribing, and let's get into it. So yes, like I said, I'm gonna read off an article published just after the Club World Cup final. In terms of power rankings, they're calling it Ballon d'Or 2025 power rankings. And I'm going to go through the top players that they said here. In 20th place, Bradley Barcola, 23 goals and 21 assists. Wow. So he won the quadruple, of course, with Paris Saint-Germain, which was the Ligue 1, Coupe de France, Champions League, and the Trophée des Champions, which is like all the titles you can win in France, the super team. You'll see a lot of recurring PSG players in here, I'm sure. Yeah, 44 goal involvements for the young, how old is he? He's 22 still. You know, superb Bradley Barcola. Should he have been available? It's like, say, for example, he got fully benched for Desiree Doué. Lots of teams would have gone in for Bradley Barcola. Next up is Michael Olise. He won the Bundesliga. He's in 19th place, 22 goals, 24 assists, 46 goal involvements. How much did he cost? Like 50 million quid or something from Palace. What a signing. I really like Michael Olise. He's amazing. They'll be very pleased with how he just sort of slotted into Bayern Munich. He is a French international. I think he speaks pretty fluent French, but of course he came through at Chelsea and, you know, grew up in England, so he could have played for England. So he's like, you know, grew up in England, speaks English as his first language, is a France international, and he plays for the biggest team in Germany. So very much all over the gaff there in a good way. 18th place, Vinicius Jr. From a top 2 favourite to 18th place. He's still got 24 goals and 20 assists, but only won the Super Cup and Intercontinental Cup. Yeah, very big drop-off from Vinny Jr. there. Not going to win, is he? All right, another PSG player, João Neves of PSG, an amazing young central midfielder. Got sent off in the Club World Cup final for pulling Cucure's hair. Very funny. Now, then you've got in 16th place, Victor Gyökeres, who scored 63 goals. Crazy amounts of goals and 16 assists. Wow, 79 goal involvements. Basically a goal a game, I think he got. He was even scoring hat-tricks in the Champions League against Man City. He got sort of demoted in lots of people's opinions because of the, you know, scoring in the Portuguese league, playing for Sporting against much weaker opposition, but of course, Champions League goals, international goals, off to Arsenal by all accounts. He's in 16th place. Now, another PSG player, shock horror, 15th place is Gianluigi Donnarumma, 19 clean sheets, won the quadruple. 14th place, Robert Lewandowski, the Barcelona centre forward. He's 36 now. 36 years old. I think he missed a lot of He missed a lot of games of injury towards the end, maybe. I mean, he's 44 goals in all competitions. He of course, won La Liga, the Copa del Rey, and the Super Copa de España. So, yeah, very, very good. 14th, though. Not going to win the Ballon d'Or, but, an incredibly good season for the 36-year-old. Barcelona are going to need to replace him and find a centre forward. He's 36, Barcelona, massive club. Top 3 club in the world, I guess. He hasn't actually won a Ballon d'Or. He should have the year they cancelled it in 2020, and it was pretty disgraceful, really, because he won the quadruple. He won top scorer in every single competition. It was like so obviously him. And above all those, you're above your Vinny Juniors, your Bradley Barcolas, your Robert Lewandowskis. In 13th place on the goal power rankings is Cole Palmer. Of course, he won the Conference League and the Club World Cup. 18 goals and 14 assists. Cole Palmer, an off-season Cole Palmer. Off-season, stinky season Cole Palmer. Still got 32 goal involvements from midfield. Of course, attacking midfield. But yeah, he's not going to get Ballon d'Or. But he might be in the top. He might get the top 20. It's good. I think he was top 20 last one. Raise his eyebrow. Obviously, had an amazing individual season. 12th place, Harry Kane won the Bundesliga, of course. 48 goals, 14 assists to boot as well. 62 goal involvements. Finally got his trophy. Finally broke the spell, the curse, as it were. And yeah, he's not going to win it either. But 12th, probably about right now. Pedri, I'm glad Pedri's getting his flowers. He's in 11th, which is, he probably would be disappointed to not be top 10. 7 goals and 10 assists. Obviously won La Liga, Copa del Rey, and Super Copa as well. But with Pedri, it's not about goals and assists. You look how he operates in the midfield, and probably, even though he's, people wax lyrical about him, I think maybe comparatively to like Vitinha and stuff, he's probably a bit underappreciated, Pedri. So he's ridiculous. He's an incredible player. Right, we're hitting the top 10 now, guys, where it gets spicy, and there's a lot of PSG. Number 10, Nuno Mendes, didn't have the greatest final in the Club World Cup. Of course, he got harassed by Malo Gusto and Cole Palmer, and like many, he got rattled from sort of angry, like a lot of PSG players in that final. But had an amazing season, the best fullback pairing in the world, you'd have to say, with PSG, so deservedly involved in the top echelons. Kvaratskhelia, Kvaradona is number 9, 15 goals, 13 assists, leads by example on the left wing for Paris Saint-Germain. Works very, very hard, and he's got this sort of like, even though he's got star quality, there's like a sort of humility to him as well. I quite like Kvaratskhelia. Amazing in it, obviously, and the fact how he's 9th, because guys, he won the quad of PSG, but he also won Serie A, didn't he, with Napoli, because he had half a season there, so he gets a medal. Incredible. The other fullback is number 8, Achraf Hakimi, 13 goals and 17 assists, 26 clean sheets. That is insane. 30 goal involvements from fullback. He loves a goal as well. Striking technique is incredible. There we go. Here's the one of the young teenagers as well. Désiré Doué. He's in 7th place. 16 goals, 16 assists. Again, won the quad. Incredible. Very, very exciting. A breakout season for him because he was scoring on the big stages as well. He was doing a kind of Cole Palmer in that sense on the big stage. Nearly scored in the Club World Cup final if it wasn't for a really excellent work from Marc Cucurella. And Kylian Mbappe, here he is, his debut season for Real Madrid. 46 goals, not bad for your first season playing for Real Madrid, and 7 assists as well. So what's that, 53 goal involvements. But of course, Real Madrid had a bit of a, dare I say, nightmare season, because they got a few embarrassments in there, as well as only winning the Super Cup. Poor from Real Madrid, but good from Mbappe. Of course, the discussion will continue. Does he, because he scores loads of goals, does the team get worse because of him? That debate goes on. Number 5, Mohamed Salah. Still good at 32 years old. Of course, he won the Premier League. He got 36 goals and 24 assists as well. That gets lost in the wash a little bit. 40 and 60 goal involvements from Mo Salah and winning the Premier League. And the Premier League is the best league you can win in world football. You know, it simply is. So yeah, top 5 ranking there for Salah. I'd argue that's probably deserved as well. We're getting into 4th now. 4th place is Rafinha, 39 goals and 25 assists. Still trying to get rid of him to put in Nico Williams, who didn't really do that much at all. Productivity for Athletic Club, of course, they just want the Spanish starting wingers and Yamal and Williams, but he's only 28. He's only 28 still, Rafinha. And, yeah, amazing numbers, bro. Literally incredible numbers. What's that? 64 goal involvements? He won La Liga, won Copa del Rey, and, of course, the Super Cup, all them with Barcelona. Yeah, he's massively in for a shout in 4th place. Now, Vitinha is 3rd. You know who the first 2 are. But Vitinha is 3rd. I'm pleased he is. He's insane. He's insanely good to watch, Vitinha. I think Pedri, people maybe don't... The eye test isn't as obvious with Pedri. Maybe that's unfair to say. But Vitinha, the way he passes and moves. This is a guy that we saw at Wolves for a little bit. Didn't really think much of him. And now he's like the guy. He got 8 goals and 8 assists. But that is just, you know, icing on what he is. He's kind of like the regista, do you know what I mean, of the PSG team, but he can dribble as well. He can pass, move, dribble. It just constantly keeps this like whole, you know, organism of PSG pressing and moving. He's incredible to watch. Not only did he win the quad with PSG, he of course won the Nations League with Portugal, which probably gives him that edge with the international trophy. And that's probably why he's been sort of bumped up into 3rd because of that. So you've got the top 2, which is, of course, Lamine Yamal and Ousmane Dembele. Now, Ousmane is still number 1. And this is where it brings me to the sort of culture wars of Lamine versus Barcelona versus Ousmane Dembele. Now, Lamine Yamal is... it shouldn't be, yeah. Says here, no player has won the Ballon d'Or before their 21st birthday in almost 70 years of the award. So no one's won it even, you know, before 21. He's turned 18 yesterday or the day before or something. And he's an amazing season. 21 goals, 26 assists. So 47 goal involvements. He won La Liga, Copa del Rey. Super Cup as well. I do think, and this is not his fault, I do think people not hype him, but I think the age thing has juiced him up a little bit. Now, rightly, because if once a 17-year-old does what he does, you go, he's only 17. But you don't. Do you give players more points because they're younger? You know, and do you demote if they're older? You devalue their output, because it should be only anecdotal that he's young. You judge him, you judge all the footballers on a fair basis, you know. But I do feel like because of his age, it became a bit of a meme on social media because he's so young. It was almost like, well, he has to win it because he's so young, you know, which I think is silly, really. He has been amazing. He's incredible to watch. He's clutch. Loads of players and footballers think he's the best footballer in the world. You know, Cole Palmer was interviewed not too long ago saying, yeah, he's the best. He's got to be the best player in the world, what he's doing. He's got that trademark goal where he cuts in, puts it top left bins, opposite of postage stamp. And he's been incredible. So, 21 goals, loads of assists as well, 26 assists, and there's loads. And then you've got Ousmane Dembele, who... Lamine's got 21 goals. Ousmane has got 37 goals and 16 assists. So he's got 10 less assists, but he's got 16 more goals. So more goal involvements, and he, of course, won the quadruple and, Champions League title. And they nearly went unbeaten. Now... what I'm going to do here, is I'm going to remove... You can't remove the trophies, because they both had great seasons trophy-wise. I I think there's a reason. I agree with Ousmane Dembele being the favourite. And there's a huge culture war here. I think largely because it is a cool quirk how young Lamine Yamal is. It's fun that he's so young and doing that and looks right in place. You know, winning with Spain, winning with Barcelona, getting the number 10 now. It's a great story. And Barcelona are a bigger club than PSG, and they're much bit more supported, you know. So there will be a lot of Barcelona fans pushing for Lamine Yamal. But he's 9 years younger than Ousmane Dembele. I would not be worried, Barcelona and Lamine Yamal fans, maybe Spain international fans. Lamine Yamal is going to win a lot of Ballon d'Ors in the next 15 years. He's going to win a lot. And he'll probably, if he doesn't win this one, he'll probably come second. So I don't think it's going to be a travesty or a big concern. Like Lewandowski's never won it, who should have won it. He's 36, turning 37. He won't win the Ballon d'Or. He should have won it in 2020. It was a farce. He's probably cooked now. Lamine's fine. Now, Ousmane Dembele is 27 years old. And not just because of all the goals and assists and winning the quadruple. I think the underlying narrative here that's important for me is how he transformed PSG. Because remember, before the January transfer window, PSG manager Luis Enrique was trying different options in the false nine. He didn't want to use Gonzalo Ramos. Did they have Kolo Muani at the time as well? He wanted to use a false nine. He tried loads of different players like Marco Asensio as well before he got loaned to Villa. Until finally he's like, right, I'm going to move Ousmane Dembele down the middle to play a false nine. Ousmane Dembele, a player historically that we all thought, oh, he's never going to live up to his talent. He stays up all night playing video games. Has he got an attitude problem? All this stuff. You know, he's surely not going to be... that he's going to be like Mbappe, this guy who doesn't track back, who doesn't work hard enough, who maybe, you know, the team loses out because he's got too much of an ego. The script was ripped up, and he became the leading by example player in a very young team. He's senior at 27, who works so incredibly hard, who presses like an absolute maniac. And if your striker, your superstar name, Ousmane Dembele, is running around pressing like that, and Kvaratskhelia is doing it also, a player, like he's got the humility to work hard, then everyone does it. And that's what created this insane PSG team that pressed like maniacs. Their running stats are insane. It starts from this front. It starts from Ousmane Dembele. Luis Enrique said himself he would give the Ballon d'Or to Ousmane Dembele for his defensive work alone. He's got all those goals. He's got all those assists. But watch how PSG play, the intelligence there. They do have the entertainers aspects, the flicks and tricks, but they do it not to show off. Not like old PSG. They do it because it's the best execution of the collective teamwork, hard-working plan. And no one in that team represents that better than Ousmane Dembele. And he's not just like a false nine facilitator that works really hard, that makes everyone better. He's got 37 goals. Obviously a massive career high. And yeah, they won the quadruple. Now, Lamine Yamal, I'm not going... He's amazing. If he wins the Ballon d'Or, great. It's like last season. It could have been Vinny. It could have been Rodri, rather. You know, it could have been either of those guys. It turned out to be a massive drama. Had either of one, I'd been like, yeah, fine. But, you know, apparently it was this big travesty. And actually, what followed, how bad Man City got in his absence, and, you know, how Vinny couldn't keep up form, probably was vindication. Useful words there, for Rodri winning it. But similarly, I think, not just because of the quadruple, I think how important, when he moved into that role, Ousmane transformed that attack entirely. I think that just demonstrates his importance and his worthiness of the Ballon d'Or. It is a sort of culture wars, though. I do think Lamine's been clutch. He's been amazing, goals and assists. But what I would say is, if you take Ousmane Dembele out of PSG in the second half since January, they don't win the quadruple. You know, maybe, and Lamine Yamal is a massive contributor, but he's still very much like this winger. And this, I'm so mindful not to criticize him, because again, we go back, he's a kid, but the whole system isn't reliant on this wide, young forward, because why should it be? That would be mental pressure on him. Do you know what I mean? Of course it shouldn't be. And maybe had you put another really good winger in there, Barcelona still win the title. They still, get loads of goals from Rafinha and Lewandowski. Do you know what I mean? Whereas no Ousmane Dembele, no party at all. And of course, he's a decade older. He's, all this kind of stuff. Like I said, Lamine Yamal will win loads and loads of Ballon d'Ors. He might win this one, but if I was to vote, I'd go Ousmane Dembele for the described reasons. But that's no slight on a 17, and he's just turned 18, but throughout the season, he was 17 years old. To get in the conversation, it just alone is an incredible achievement for the young Spanish international. What do you think, though? Comment down below. It's been a longer video today. There's daily content here on Football Yannick. I'll be very keen to learn your thoughts, feelings, and opinions. Thank you for supporting the content, liking and subscribing. I hope to see you back here very soon. Peace.